Hi, how you doing today? On Intentional Monday, I want to share two words with you today. As I thought of what was to share, two words actually jumped at me, and it's process and promise. And I believe they go together. And process simply is a series of action steps that you have to take to get to a particular end. And promise is that expected end. And so as I thought of those words, something, I kind of just thought of something that you actually can't go get the promise without the process. And often the process helps you to sustain the promise when you eventually get it. But just like me, and I'm sure a lot of us, the process is often not a fun time. The process could be, maybe you're trusting God for a particular thing, in your career, on your job, in business, in marriage, you're trusting God for a baby, you're trusting God for a husband. Often there would be a time that we call the process, which is the time in between. When you look at gold, for example, nobody really puts a demand on raw gold as much. But when gold goes through that process of getting refined, when it goes through that process, of being purified, it goes through a series of processes actually, and it comes forth, and then you see the beautiful bangles, you see the beautiful necklace. Someone says, "Oh, I love your 18 karat gold." It has to go through a process. So I want to say to you, what process are you going through right now? Whatever process it is, be intentional about not skipping the process. Because I have found from the little time I've spent on earth that when we skip the process, we are not ready for the promise that we're trusting God for. Often when we skip the process, we're not ready to be able to sustain and maintain that promise. The process actually gets you ready for that which you're going to have as the promise. So as you go through this week, just remember that those two words, process, promise. Don't skip the process because it's going to get you ready for that promise that you're trusting God for. Have an amazing week.